So, after 4 weeks, we have episode 4 of Ruby. And wow, this was a really great episode. I am so glad. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that Ruby Ice Queendom is back, because this episode was wow. So many great moments in this episode. So many great scenes. Wow, this was great, and the story is really picking up. The story is really picking up. Wow, I can't wait to see where this goes. I can't wait to see where this goes. Wow, great episode. So we start off this episode with Ruby waking up in Weiss's nightmare, and she doesn't know where she is. She wakes up stranded in the middle of nowhere, in completely different outfits, and in a completely different outfit, and also her weapon has changed for some reason. So she's really confused about that. But she realizes that she has the coins from the witch, who is helping Ruby through this nightmare. So she uses one of the coins to contact the witch and get some information in order for her to move on, and know what to do. So she tells Ruby to follow the train tracks, in order to find follow the path to to know where to go. But before that, she notices a train coming with some bad guys on it. No, I mean the White Fang members, who in this nightmare are sort of like werewolves almost, or big buff wolf type creatures. Because that's how Weiss sees them, as big old brute wolves. So I thought that was a pretty cool pretty cool detail. So Ruby wants to fight them, but she says, but the witch says no. So Ruby's like, okay, I will just go on my path then. So she does, and Ruby was quite reckless in this episode, because she uses the coins like one after the other and just wastes them. She wastes them and until she only has 2 left by the end of this episode, and she just completely wastes them. So logical thinking out the window, but she reaches the city eventually, where Weiss is, and she explores the city, and she discovers that that some of her friends are in this nightmare as well, and the way that Weiss thinks about them is like dumb cats. So they don't. So when when Ruby finds them in a cage, they just meow, and they don't speak like human words, because that's how Weiss sees them, as dumb cats. So yeah. So Nightmare Weiss is not nice. It's not nice because she thinks as everybody because she thinks of the White Fang as big brute wolves. She thinks of the other team members as dumb cats, and she thinks of Ruby as a dumb kid, a dumb irresponsible kid. So yeah. So Weiss, Nightmare Weiss is not nice. So Ruby obviously realizes that she can't do anything about it, and moves on, and yeah, Then then she discovers some like mindless drone people, and she follows them, into a factory, and yeah, stuff happens like that. Um, yeah, So Weiss obviously thinks of these people as like being mindless, being controlled, because she fears her father, and her father in this nightmare form is like some big scary being sort of person, because that's how Weiss sees her father in this nightmare, and that's quite scary. Yeah, that was very, very terrifying. So yeah, so when no, so after that, she she no no so when she finally finds Weiss, yeah, not Nightmare Weiss is not to be is not to be messed with, because she is as powerful as she thinks she is. And yeah, the fight between Ruby and the fight between Weiss and Ruby was, you couldn't really call it a fight, because she just runs away, because that's how powerful Weiss is. In this nightmare, she just takes Ruby out like a no, she just flings her around like a rag doll. It was great. Insane. She just, yeah, Ruby didn't stand a chance during that fight. She just dragged her around like a rag doll. No, flung her around like a rag doll. Just she couldn't stand a chance. So hopefully when Blake and Yoon when Blake and Ruby's sister come in, they hopefully they stand a better chance, because they will be coming into the nightmare soon, because they are preparing back in the real world. They are preparing to come into nightmare and give Ruby some assistance. So they will be joining Ruby in the nightmare soon. But yeah, that fight was, yeah, it was crazy, because Ruby couldn't do nothing. Ruby literally couldn't do nothing in that fight. It was crazy, absolutely crazy. Yeah, absolutely crazy. So I'm hoping that Ruby will be able to save Weiss, and if not, I'm hoping that I'm hoping that Blake and Yoon can save her themselves. I just they got to save her. They've got to save Weiss from this nightmare. They've got to. And the way they introduce Nightmare Weiss was pretty cool, because she walks into this dining hall, which is all dark and eerie, because that's how Nightmare Weiss is. So she comes in and she's just like, yeah, this is different. This is a different type of Weiss that you've seen. This is not our Weiss. This is Nightmare Weiss, and yeah, that was a pretty cool entrance. The way she walked in and stuff. Oh, yeah, that was quite an entrance. Whew, man. And animation wise, fantastic again. Studio Shaft hasn't missed a beat. They are doing a fantastic job with the RWBY anime. So with a RWBY Ice Queendom, they are doing an amazing job. They are killing it. They are absolutely killing it. Animation wise, incredible. Amazing fight scenes, fluid. You can see everything, and even the way that RWBY walks and travels around, and teleports and travels around and all that. It's fluid. The animation is just so fluid. It's amazing, incredible. Oh, absolutely amazing. So this episode overall was amazing, and again that fight scene between Weiss and RWBY was intense, and the way they left this episode off for going into next Sunday's episode has got me on the edge of my seat, because I want to know what's going to happen between the continuing fight between RWBY and Nightmare Weiss. I need to know what's going to happen. Oh boy, I have to wait till next Sunday. We have to wait till next Sunday. Oh, but it just yeah, I just yeah. I want the episode now, but we have to wait. So yeah. So yeah, guys, those are my thoughts on the episode. I didn't really have much to say about the episode, because there was some parts that I couldn't remember, some bits. The episode just flew by, and yeah, it was a great episode. Loved it. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Give me your thoughts on the episode down below, and yeah, tell me if you like this episode. Did you hate this episode? Was it just okay? And yeah, keep a lookout for my review on episode 5 next Sunday. And yeah, the RWBY anime is killing it. Shaft doing an amazing job with the animation, and yeah, this is great show, great show, and yeah, I can't wait for next episode. So yeah, those are my thoughts, and yeah, I shall see you next time. Thanks for listening, guys. Please subscribe, like, share, all that, and yeah, I shall see you lovely lot next time. So yeah, bye.